I want to see if it will scream like a man or a girl. Transgender 16-year-old Brianna Ghey was a normal, typical teenage girl. She loved posting on TikTok. She was just her authentic self all the time, absolutely obsessed with pink, but she also did struggle quite a lot with anxiety as well. On the 11th of February in 2023, Brianna messaged her mum and said that she was going to meet one of her friends called Scarlett. She was getting the bus there, and her mum was really proud of her because this was not the kind of thing that Brianna would do. She would never get the bus on her own. She was way too anxious for that. And her mum was really proud of her that she was making this step to do that. On the bus, Brianna was also messaging her best friend Amelia. They'd actually never met in person, but they spoke every single day. They FaceTimed every day and they were super close. And she was messaging her saying that she was so nervous and that she was on the bus on her own going to meet a friend. When Brianna got off the bus, she met up with school friend Scarlett Jenkinson, and there was also another boy there who was the same age, and this was Eddie Ratcliffe. And then they walked to Culcheth Linear Park, which was a really popular park that so many people went to. It was full of dog walkers, full of just people playing. It was literally one of those parks where everybody goes. About an hour after getting there, two dog walkers noticed that there was a boy kind of crouched down. It looked like he was putting a lead on a small white dog on the floor, but then the boy stood up and they realised that he was actually holding a knife. And what was on the floor wasn't actually a small white dog, it was actually a body. When he spotted the dog walkers, they made eye contact very briefly and then he ran off, and then they realised that there was another person there, a schoolgirl who looked as though she should be in school. She looked very young. She also ran off from the scene, and then they went over and they quickly realised that the white thing that they thought was a little dog was actually a fluffy jacket. They called the police, who arrived 12 minutes later. CPR was attempted, but Brianna was pronounced dead at 4:02 p.m. with 28 stab wounds, mainly to her neck, chest and back. An investigation quickly started, and a lot of witnesses that were in the park that day said that they saw the two teenagers, and they were arrested 24 hours later. Both Scarlett and Eddie's homes were searched and their phones were seized as well. Inside Scarlett's house, the police found a handwritten note detailing exactly the plan of what they were going to do that day and how they were going to kill her. They also found inside Eddie's house a hunting knife, which was later confirmed to have had Brianna's blood on it. But their phones were actually the most shocking thing about this case. They had detailed for months in messages backwards and forwards about how they were going to kill Brianna and also other kids. They had a list with a load of kids' names on it. It wasn't just Brianna. Some of the messages between Scarlett and Eddie said things like, if we can't get Boy E tomorrow, we can kill Brianna, and a reply that said, yes, it'll be easier, and I want to see if it will scream like a man or a girl. This is why I mentioned at the beginning that Brianna was transgender, because a lot of the time in the messages between each other, Scarlett would refer to Brianna as she, her, which is correct, her pronouns, that was right. But Eddie used to say it or even him a lot, which just kind of proved that he was homophobic. There were also texts showing that they'd actually tried to end Brianna's life before by